Now, when it comes to buying pre-owned, myself, fellow content creators, we all get on here and we all preach about how safe it is to buy from Japanese resellers, and 99% of the time that is in fact true. However, something was brought to my attention earlier this week and I knew I just had to make a video about it because it was kind of a snowball effect. The more I looked, the more I found, and this is kind of a hot topic. Before we dive in though, hey guys, my name's Caleb. I post luxury and lifestyle related content every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So if that's something you're into, which I'm assuming it is, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Consider joining our membership. We have an awesome engaged community, perks, extra access, members meetups for shopping trips. Now, before we really dive in, this video is in fact a collab video. I'm working with Dee Bean. If you're not familiar with her channel, like how? Her channel is a lot of fun. She's got a lot of good unboxings, a lot of good insight. Now, this story does involve Dee, so with her permission, I was like, hey, I want to make a video about this, spread some awareness, and she's like, well, let's do a collab thing. So she's gonna have the full in-depth story about what happened to her personally. I'm gonna give you the cliff notes so that way we can kind of dive in though into what I found. I think hers is just the tip of the iceberg. So Dee Bean and I, we were chatting late one night, and I think we were talking about the denim soft tabby, which recently popped back up at Neiman Marcus. It's sold out. Anyway, she was telling me like, oh my gosh, you know, if only I could find one. I think she actually found one, but it only had 2 photos on the listing. It was from Japan, so as we all know, historically, Japanese resellers, very trusted. They have very stringent rules and regulations and laws about selling counterfeit goods. So we all kind of collectively, as a Lux community, took that and kind of ran with it and just assumed everything from Japan is in fact authentic, which we're gonna find out is not the case. She sent the listing to me, it had 2 pictures, and I was like, no, don't do it. They were 2 old stock photos from the Coach website. Who knows what you're actually gonna get if you're going to get the beautiful denim soft tabby, or a counterfeit, a fake. And I also warned her because I had been looking, because a lot of people consistently ask me about this bag. They're like, Caleb, when are you gonna sell it? It was a gift from my husband, so I never will. But they're like, you know, let us know, like, is a new one coming out? Are they gonna re-release it? Like, what's going on? So I usually keep my eye out on the market. And anyway, I keep an eye out just to see like things that I own, like what their current market values are, just to like, I'm a nerd, it's true. But I noticed there were 2 really bad fakes on eBay coming from Japan. And I was like, oh, Dee, you know, be careful. I noticed a couple of bad fakes on there. And then she's like, oh, well, I just ordered another bag from Japan and I'm a little worried. And I was like, well, send me some photos. I'm like, you know, knock on wood, you should be okay. Buying from Japan, I mean, granted, there's always going to be, you know, the risk, but 9 times out of 10, you should be okay. The bag she sent me, I did not want to be the one to tell her. I'm like, Dee Bean, I'm sorry, but this is not authentic. Don't hate me, I'm just the messenger. There were a lot of inconsistencies with the bag that she bought, and then ultimately she got it, opened it up, sent some more photos, and I'm like, oof. Not real. So today I kind of want to show you some of the bags that I found from Japanese resellers on eBay, what makes them fake, what to look out for, and how to make educated decisions when you're shopping the pre-owned market. We're gonna get some laughs because some of these bags are literally so terrible how they're still up on eBay. Blows my mind. All right, so Dee Bean had initially purchased the Coach Tabby Shoulder Bag 26, the new quilted one from the runway, and I think she got hers for $299.99. Now, this same seller, Sushi Bomber, located in Japan, has 2 of these bags both listed, both conveniently under that $500 price point where you have to send it to eBay authentication, which you want the T. I actually tracked a bag and did a little research on the address I was going to. It went to a temp agency. So I don't know how much stock you can put into eBay authentication. That might be another video in and of itself. So as we're looking at this bag, first off, the quality is obviously not there. There's some inconsistencies right off the bat with the Coach buckle here on the front, that classic tabby C. Between the C, the open end of the letter, there's a little bit of metal running vertically on there, whereas on the real versions, there shouldn't be. I mean, hello, it's a C. Also, this strange envelope. This envelope pops up a lot from some of these Japanese resellers. I've never gotten an envelope with all this information in it. Also, the hang tag hangs too low. I think on the quilted tabbies, they should be a little bit shorter. And then most importantly, there is this spot where the leather's like rolled up and unfinished behind that second flap of the double flap design. I'm just like, ooh, this is not authentic. We've got bad grommets on the underside of where the chain comes out of the top flap. Just a lot of inconsistencies. The quality doesn't seem to be there. And of course we found out as we were looking at it, it was indeed inauthentic. So this seller has a few other bags. Like I said, they had 2 of these, one priced at $4.99, one priced at $2.99. Sadly, I think both have sold. No, yeah, both are now off the market. I mentioned earlier, there were a couple of fake soft tabbies in the denim that are still available on the website for $287, conveniently well below the authentication price point. Just looking at this, you guys, listen, I buy a lot of pre-owned bags for my collection. It's true. I think everything behind me minus the Rogue was pre-owned. You just have to educate yourself. Like what do you need to look for? What are some of the details, the finer points of detail that you need to look out for? The very first thing that I noticed off the bat, aside from the strange dimensions of this bag and size, is the C signature print. As you can tell on my version, the C's should be, there should be some dimension to them. They should almost stand out a little bit. There's jacquard weave, so there's going to be some variation in color, and this is very clearly just flat. It looks flat. The C's are obviously misshapen. We've got a little bit of wonkiness along the bottom portion of the C's here where it kind of like straightens out and then curves up at a dramatic angle. Overall, this is not a good example. And again, we have that really weird packet of information. You've got the letter from Mike Tucci, the president of Coach Retail, and then a weird care instruction booklet, and then a thing to put down your name, email address, phone number. Like, it doesn't make sense. So these are not things that you would probably find with an authentic Coach bag. Now, another thing to look out for, oftentimes these sellers who are peddling these inauthentic goods will take photos of actual authentic items to kind of trick you, get you into it, and then they'll include some photos of the fake items. So like with this one, these first photos, these are the authentic Coach tabby. And sadly, this item is no longer available. I think it did sell. But then as we're scrolling through, we're welcomed back with the same photos that we saw in the last listing. We've got that flat, wrong denim jacquard weave. We have a weird hang tag that the leather accents look off, and then we're back to stock photos from the website. So you have to be careful. Sometimes they're gonna sandwich it in with real photos. Look at every single photo to make sure what you're purchasing or what you're bidding on is gonna be what you get. And again, this is from another Japanese reseller with 100% positive feedback. I always take eBay reseller feedback with a grain of salt. You know, nothing really goes wrong with the item. The buyer is probably less likely to even leave feedback or just give positive feedback, just, you know, thanks. Very rarely do you see like, oh, the item they sent me was inauthentic. So it's hard to base a seller's reputation off of feedback, if you will. Now, another bad fake denim bag is this Coach field tote. Again, I'm not gonna go through all the reasons why it's fake, but again, just look at that signature weave. You've got the flat weird C's, the flat color, and just overall the leather accents look a little cheap, not gonna lie. Now here are two more examples of sandwiching the real photo in with nothing but fakes. So first off, again, we have another Japanese reseller, 334 feedbacks with 98.9% positive feedback. And you guys, this is one of the worst counterfeit Coach bags that I have ever seen, and it's almost comical how bad it is. So again, we're met with the stock photo of the original bag, and then once we get to the photos, like tell me it's a fake Coach bag without telling me it's a fake Coach bag. The flap is wrong, dimensions are wrong. You've got really wonky glazing around that front tabby C buckle, and just overall the materials look cheap. Like, this is not of Coach quality. Now, granted, we're not looking for like Hermès heirloom quality, but like Coach is still really good quality. Again, we're met with the envelope of weird information, which gets really comical here in a minute. But you just have to be really careful. Look at every single photo in detail because you never know, they're gonna sneak something in. There's two of those actually available. This next one, you guys, is hilarious. Another Coach tabby. This is in the color Canyon, which was a gorgeous color. But upon further inspection, we're met with the weird envelope and this horrible stitching. Now, granted, you know, Coach lets some things pass through occasionally, but stitching this bad, I would be blown away if this was actually authentic and the stitching was that bad. But we're looking at all the details. The glazing is sloppy. It's kind of too thick and the wrong shade of black. We've got the weird packet of information with the wrong tags and fonts, more bad stitching. Like what more could you ask for? And even the suede just looks like microfiber. Like this is a really bad example of a Coach bag. All right, now these last few that I'm gonna show you are absolutely fascinating. I had to go on a deep dive because these come with receipts. Literal fake receipts. I'm going to tell you what to look for. So first up, we have this Coach pillow tabby. Again, just upon first look, that flap looks terrible. It's the wrong shape, weird puddling of the pillowing, but then we have the receipt. So again, weird envelope of information, but if we zoom in on this receipt, this is where your detective skills have to come into play. So this is from Yorkdale Mall, which is in North York, Ontario, which is a beautiful mall. It's like the mall of the future. We've been quite a few times. Every time we go to Toronto, we make it a point to stop at this mall. It is stunning. It is gorgeous. This is This receipt's hilarious. Okay, so the operator is Cara. Keep her name in mind because we're going to see her again several times. This customer's name was Keith Sharp. This is the gift receipt. They do correct these. So the color code is correct. We've got the silver green. Actually, is it correct? No. This bag has gold hardware, so it would be not SVGN, it would be gold hardware / green. And then they do change the style number, so that is probably correct. I'd have to double check what the pillow tabby should be. But what cracks me up, and you might know this if you worked for Coach, underneath the customer's name, we have those abbreviations. This is literally for the Bleecker Leather convertible sling pack that they sold when I worked for the company back in 2013. And they get creative, you guys. They've changed the date, they've changed the time, but we're gonna see Cara at the Yorkdale Mall pop up quite a few more times. Cara, if you're out there, I'm so sorry, but I doubt you're peddling fakes at the Yorkdale Mall. Now this next one, again, I'm not gonna go over the bag with you guys. It is clearly fake upon first inspection. Those C's are totally wrong. Oh, but what's this? The Yorkdale Mall, Cara. This time the customer's name is Clara Campbell. Again, she bought the Bleecker Leather convertible sling pack, even though this is the large Dempsey tote from the outlet. The outlet is not at Yorkdale Mall, that is a full price boutique. This time the bag though was purchased on 4/21/2023 at 3:32 p.m. And this time we're marking it silver pink. Oh, guess what? It's gold hardware again. So we're buying outlet bags at the full price boutique with the wrong codes. Okay. I see it. I get it. I get it. Now this pops up a couple more times. Here is the Rainbow Pride Dempsey tote. Again, the C signature is completely wrong. You've got, again, the big packet of fake information and another receipt from Cara at the Yorkdale Mall for a Bleecker Leather convertible sling pack in silver / white. This time though, the customer is Oscar Giles. Sounds very, very fun. Sounds cool. The fake Cara receipts pop up a couple of more times. Here's another one for another Dempsey tote with stars on it. Yorkdale Mall, Cara, Bleecker Leather convertible sling pack. But this last bag, you guys, cracked me up the most. So as we all know, Coach does a lot of collaboration with Disney and Disney World parks. So of course they had the Disney Rogue. I think it was Mickey and His Friends was the name of this bag. Now I'm gonna zoom in on these embroidered icons and compare them to the authentic item. The level or lack thereof of detailing in these embroideries is enough to crack you up. I mean, first of all, look at the castle. I mean, I don't even know how to embroider, and I probably could have done that in an afternoon. And this Mickey is just nightmare fuel. He's terrifying. And then, you guys, look at these characters. These are just awful. Now the thing is, when you're shopping for pre-loved Coach on eBay, oftentimes you'll be able to see things like the style number, or hopefully they're a seller who knows what they're talking about and they've included the proper name. You can literally Google these items and go to the original Coach page, even though the item is no longer available, and compare the photos one-on-one. If a price is too good to be true, that's my big takeaway. Just be more diligent. So what I like to do, if it's like a personal seller, not like a reseller, what I like to do sometimes is save the photo from their listing and then just do a reverse image search and make sure they didn't steal that photo from somewhere else, because a lot of people don't watermark their images when they're selling online. So you'll find things with like stolen photos. We saw it with that one Coach denim where we had some real photos, and then as we're swiping through, we got back to the gross fake denim tabby. And also take eBay authentication with a bit of a grain of salt. Now, when I sold a Louis Vuitton bag on there, gosh, I probably listed it about a year ago. I shipped it off. They gave me the address. I searched the address, found it was a temp staffing company. I don't know. Like, it doesn't sound like it's going. And this could have totally changed. Like, I think they had just started when I shipped my bag off, so it could be different now. But do your own research, and if you have any questions, ask someone in the community. You could go on to Purse Forum. They have free authentication on most of their subforums over there. If you're buying Hermès, do be really careful and send it to Baba Baby. She's fabulous to work with. Just know what you're looking for. Is the price too good to be true? Compare photos, reverse image search photos, and then once you're comfortable, purchase that bag. But I recommend doing it through PayPal. Now I know on eBay you can purchase things with like Klarna, Sezzle, your own debit card, but if you pay with PayPal, then you have two forms of backup as protection. I mean, granted, they're the same company and they're double dipping fees, but that's beside the point. You can file what's called a SNAD, significantly not as described. Mention how the bag is fake, why you think the bag is fake, and then that's going to give you that extra layer of protection for your money. Even though we're talking about Coach items, $200, $300, $400, that's still a decent chunk of money for most people. So you have to be really careful with your money, make sure you're spending it wisely, and that you're getting what you thought you were going to purchase. So with all that in mind, head on over to Dee Bean's channel, watch her video. I think she's going to show the bag to you guys. She's going to walk you through her process. Did she get her money back? That's the big question. I'm gonna let her share all that. Anyway, guys, until next time, stay safe, even when you're shopping. Have fun. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.